don't expect me to be back every week because I won't. So I have been gone for more than 2 months, I'm pretty sure. And things up until very recently, like the past couple weeks, were not good again. I don't know. It was like a slow thing where I was getting stressed, but also like, I don't know, just once again, not taking care of myself fully how I needed to because I was just feeling worse. Another big part of what happened though is I started to have just another overall like inflammation problem, another autoimmune thing. And that started in November. And it was like a slow thing where I was just like in pain. Sleep was really terrible again. And I had tried to get off my medication that I take for it's in general anxiety, depression, and my ADHD symptoms and stuff, because I recently got diagnosed with that. And I tried to get off of it because I was feeling pretty good, and I was like, okay, well, I want to see if I can try to get off of this now that I've gotten through like the worst things that were happening and whatever. And I had developed more coping mechanisms and everything, and I got off of it. And within like probably just a week, like it took a week for it to just probably get out of my system, and then it was just like a steady downhill thing that was, specifically not necessarily the depression and a little bit of the anxiety, because that's kind of just part of ADHD too, but the depression, really, that wasn't the problem, because I have developed coping mechanisms for the various things, and exercising and praying and journaling and all those things really help the depression side of things. But the ADHD symptoms are what is a huge contributing factor to the anxiety and the depression, because I am just not functioning. Like my brain is not functioning how I need it to function to get through my normal daily life. So I was off of it for probably like 3 weeks because I was trying to power through. I'm like, okay, I need time to like, it's out of my system. I need time to, figure out if there's, other things I can do or stuff, because I was trying to just go back off of it. And then I quickly realized, no, like I need to be on that. And within like 3 days of getting back on it, it was just like back to normal, back to like feeling like, oh, I can actually function. Like I can get out of bed. I can do the stuff I need to do. So I need to be on medication. I also realized that the Wellbutrin helps with like the hunger and the cravings too, which I knew Wellbutrin, typically people don't gain weight on Wellbutrin, which is one of the reasons why doctors prescribe it over like other antidepressants and stuff, because those ones do make you gain weight. And it definitely has a whole other like piece. Not only are you getting like your energy, but it has like a whole other piece to it that, for me anyway, couples with GLP-1s, like it's almost like it just doesn't work the same. Like it doesn't, whatever it's doing in my brain is like a perfect combination to make me not have food noise, but also just, I don't know, like motivate me to do the things. Like I want to eat the healthy food. I want to do the exercise and stuff like that. So I got back on medication not even a month ago. Today is January 10th or 11th, I think. And already I'm just like, my gosh. One thing I did do though, is I went even lower in my dose. So when I first started GLP-1s, I was on 300 milligrams of Wellbutrin, and I went on Zepbound, and immediately I had a bunch of problems. I had racing heart, and I had this flushing that would happen like on my face, and it took us a while to figure out, okay, is this the Zepbound, or is this my, panic attacks and anxiety or whatever. It took us months to figure out, like, oh, this is because of the slow digestion. So my digestion is slowed down. So the Wellbutrin, I think at the time I was on the one that like slowly releases too on top of it. So the Wellbutrin was just like sitting there hanging out, and then it's like it would just all hit me at once instead of it being slowly like released. And so as soon as we dropped my dose down, within a week, the flushing was gone and all of that. And I think we switched me over to the regular, whatever the regular release one is. I'm not sure. And that was on 150 milligrams. That's what that was. So then I went down to 75 this last time. So literally half again. And I take like the normal Wellbutrin HCl, I think it's called, just 75 milligrams. And I think now I'm finally like at a dose that's like perfect. It's going to help me like feel normal and do what I need to do. And then it's not doing anything weird with the Zepbound. So that's what's happening with that. And during that time, obviously we have holidays, we have all this stuff. I did not have any issue at all during that time with like, the typical things, the food things. And I cook all our food and like whatever. So it's not, usually that big of a deal for me anyway, because like I'm not going to parties or like other things. But honestly, with especially the coupled thing of Wellbutrin and the tirzepatide, Zepbound, it is just a non-issue. Like I don't crave the crap food. I don't crave the sugar and whatever. The only time I a little bit do is if I have like a crazy instant stressful situation that I'm dealing with like in the moment, then I do still have those thoughts sometimes like, oh, I just want to like binge eat, because that's what I would do in the past. But it's not even I don't do it because I physically can't do it, but also it's just a passing thought now instead of like, oh, I need to go do this. Same thing with drinking alcohol, all of that. It's the same thing. It's just not an issue now. But my weight loss, so in October, I lost 4.2 pounds, like overall, but it was very like, it was the same thing. I lost like 2 pounds this week. And then the next week I gained whatever. And then the next week, it's always been like that. November though, was when all that stuff was happening with the not being on my medication and, not taking care of myself. I was not eating enough. I was not drinking water. And then the inflammation was happening, and I was having the signs leading up to having another HS flare up, and that is a whole other thing. So November, I only lost overall, and it went up and down and up and up, and I lost 1.6 pounds is all for November. And I'm surprised I lost anything, because when I went back and looked, I'm like, oh, I think I gained in November. So 1.6 pounds in November. December, 3.6 pounds lost. So my goal, January 1st, my goal was to be at 195 based on my average loss of like 1.25 pounds per week lost. Well, I didn't make that. I didn't get under 200 before January, which had me really, really, really upset. Especially because I wasn't overeating or anything. It was just, I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't drinking water, and I was not eating enough, and with the inflammation and everything. I know a lot of it was inflammation that was happening, and that's where that weight was coming from. It was definitely water weight. So in December too, let's see, the second week of December is when my HS flare-up finally came out. Like another huge sore, but it was on my arm, like right in the crease here, like right next to my armpit, but it was like on my arm. Really bad again. Like it was a month where I could just feel that whole body pain and swelling. And I'm like, okay, well, what the heck is this? What's happening? Finally, it broke through in my arm. And then it was a month again before it actually opened up and I had relief. So I was not getting sleep. I was taking ibuprofen around the clock for like 3 weeks because of the pain, which is a whole other thing. I'm like, and it was non-negotiable. Like, that's how bad the pain is with this. So I literally ibuprofen around the clock for 3 weeks. And I had to start antibiotics again. So just a few weeks ago, I started antibiotics again, the same ones I was on last time. And my doctor has me on that for at least 3 months. And that's annoying. Like, I don't know. I just have that thing in my mind. I don't want to take all these medications, but at the same time, it's like, now that I've started back on the Wellbutrin and I've started the antibiotics, it's like, I feel like a brand new person. It's like, what the heck? Like, it's not even, I just have to keep reminding myself of that. It's like how I was feeling before couldn't get through like a normal basic day. I literally just did the dishes, the laundry, barely made it through homeschool with the kids. And then I didn't do anything. I didn't want to go do anything. It's really terrible. So on these medications, doing good. I still was stalled out though on my weight loss completely. So I started doing, I don't remember what you call it, but I just started breaking my injection up. I was on 10 milligrams, so I was just taking 5 milligrams or 6 milligrams, depending, every 5 days. Instead of doing 1 shot a week, I was doing a shot every 5 days. And that broke my stall immediately. Like, so I did not get down to 195 before January 1st. I didn't even get under 200 January 1st. But let's see, what day was that? The 9th, I believe. Oh wait, January 10th. So January 10th though, so a little over a week into January, I weighed in at 198. So I am so happy with that, especially with all of the past 2 months of not fun things and just being really discouraged because I was like, okay, well, I'm not getting under 200 before January 1st, which really had me angry because I was supposed to get there, you know, before the 1st, at the very least, you know. But it's like overall, in all my past attempts to lose weight and everything, it's like I never then continued on and made it to, you know, a checkpoint only within like a week or 2 of the original goal. You know, I'm still not at 195, but I'm like so close, and it's still within even a month of the original goal. That's never happens. Like, usually you don't get the goal and then you completely go downhill for the rest of the year, you know? So I'm very excited to be at 198. And I've started walking again. It's like within 2 weeks of the antibiotics, I was able to just get on the treadmill again every single day, because there had been weeks where I was not getting on the treadmill because I just did not have the energy. Not having the Wellbutrin, I have not been formally diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, but I believe that I have chronic fatigue syndrome on top of my other problems, because just completely unable to function despite being on a high protein, whole foods diet and taking all of the vitamins and doing all of the things. And it wasn't just Zepbound fatigue either. I can feel that fatigue, you know, the first couple days after taking an injection, but it is like this insane, cannot function at all and cannot focus. So all of these things to say that also during that time, I wanted on my last video to start doing regular videos, and it was just like, I already knew at that video, it was what I wanted to do in my brain, but everything was already going downhill. with the autoimmune stuff and everything. So all of the things that I'm doing now are exactly the same. The only thing I've added is a little bit more of like hand weights and stuff, because I know I do need to get my muscles up. And I'm going to insert a picture that I already have like gains on my arms, and I don't think I took any before pictures. I wish I would have taken a before picture of the skin under my arms, because already just doing my 3 and 5 pound weights very inconsistently, I am already like tightening up that skin. So I'm really excited that it's helping, because then I know, okay, like if I did more consistent, then how much more would it look better? You know, how much more would it tighten up? So that's making me excited. I need to take another picture of my jeans, because I fit into a pair of jeans that I couldn't button up again. I fit into the 16s that I bought. And I had taken a picture a few months ago where I couldn't even fit into those. So I'm really excited about that. I'll insert that picture, and my log of my shots and everything will be down below. And I'm still doing every 5 days doing an injection, because it just is getting me out of the stall. So I'm going to maybe take a 7.5 injection tomorrow, and my compound is past its date, so I need to finish up the bottle that I have, and then I have one whole brand new bottle, and I'll try that and everything. I still have the issue between the compound and the name brand. I prefer the name brand. I think for some reason the compound adds inflammation. It just does for me. I can see it on my weekly log what happens, excuse me. Oh yeah. So I'm going to show the log as usual, and I'm not promising regular videos because I gotta get in my groove right now, but maybe taking the pressure off, then I'll share more. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm not doing any hard goals. I think I'm just gonna leave my thing at 1 pound a week. That's what my goal is gonna be. Now that I'm like able to walk on the treadmill again and get more water in and stuff, I think, and just being under 200 like reignites that motivation, right? Like it reignites that motivation to be like, I am not going back. And I've said that many times before, and I've gone back many times before, but this time I ain't going back, okay? Like now that we have these medications that we can like utilize, I wish that I would have known about these medications after I had my last baby, and after I had had my weight loss surgery, because I could have prevented all of that weight gain, all of it. I could have literally been like, oh, there's this medication, I'm gonna start taking it, and then I could have just continued to maintain. I was within, well, I won't say at goal weight, but I was within 30 pounds of my end goal, and that would have been before having skin removal surgery and everything. And it makes me furious. I just didn't know. I had no idea. And my doctor never said anything. And yeah, I had no idea. And now that I know, it's just nice to know. Like, okay, if I have to stop, or if I have to stop for some reason, and whether if that's having another baby or anything else, I can stop. And I know that it's okay if I gain, I can go and get the medication, and I can get myself back to where I need to be. So I am just thankful that we have this medication. And that's a whole other thing though, the cost of it. That is going to be, right now we are sacrificing a lot to be able to get me this medication, especially the name brand, because that's what I want to be on. That's what I just want to finish. I would consider doing maintenance with compound, because then I could take less injections, but I want to be on name brand. So I think that it's worth the sacrifice right now of the money to do that. Years ago, when we were in debt and we had all the stuff, we wouldn't have been able to afford this. So timing really worked out for us, that even though it sucks putting like $1,100 a month towards this, it's like, that's what we need to do right now. And then maintenance, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with maintenance. And I do couple this with a whole foods diet, but I am meat-based. I'm like mostly keto. Many days I straight eat carnivore. I just eat literally water, salt, red meat. Other days I'll do keto. I'll add like a little bit of vegetables and bacon, eggs, you know, stuff like that. But for the most part, on the everyday, I do not eat bread. I do not eat pasta. I do not eat sugar. Because it doesn't do it. I have insulin resistance and it does not work with me. Even with the Zepbound, I don't feel as good. I get inflammation and I don't get the weight loss. Like I don't get the steady, continued weight loss. During my cycle, like the week before my cycle, I get extra hungry and whatever I want to eat, I will let myself eat. If I want to have, you know, a potato or extra way more vegetables or fruit than I would have, then I do that. That's perfectly fine. But I try to stick to the non-processed stuff as much as possible because that's just what works for me. I have not been like keeping up with everyone I stop by, but that's part of the thing too, is I can't keep up with every single video with every single person because everyone's pumping stuff out so fast. So, and I just realized I was spending too much time on the threads and too much time going to every single person. And it's like, I was trying to, you know, be a part of the community and help and comment and, you know, support people. But then I was like, I can't do every single person, every single video, every single post, every single live. And I had to cut way back. And too much of everything was about weight loss, weight loss, weight loss. I had to like step back, way reduce the amount of time that I'm spending on social media, like total, and change some of the content. Like my whole life is not about weight loss, and there was a lot of other things that were kind of falling by the wayside, and I was just focusing too much on my weight, too much on everything, and I really need to focus on how I'm feeling and on my mental health and all the other things I have going on. So that's going to continue in the new year. I'm not going to be able to go, and I need to like deal with my thoughts around that, because my thoughts are like guilt because I can't comment, and also kind of why I don't want to post, like, oh well, I can't go keep up with everyone, so no one is going to want to keep up with me, and yada yada. So, which is not true. It's just one of those weird things that you put on yourself, I guess. So that's the update right now. So I will insert screenshots, and as usual, it's just my rambly update, and I will give you guys a update again whenever. I have no idea. Maybe I'll just try to do it. I just don't want to make any solid plans because I then know I won't go through with them. But right now I'm at 198, so maybe, you know, every 10 pounds now I'm gonna have the extra motivation to share that's like what's happening and stuff. So we will see what happens with that. But yes, I hope all of you are doing good. I've still been looking at everyone's pages and stuff and see everyone's progress and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video, and like, subscribe, do the things if you would like to, and I will talk to you all as soon as